Alright, it's Jack, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Nate Diaz and Jake Paul fight going on this weekend. I'm pretty much just going to give my opinion on it and who I think is going to win and how I think they're going to win. Alright, so I've seen a lot of people saying about this fight on that they were saying that they think Jake is just going to be a clear winner and he's going to dominate the fight and Nate's not even going to get past like 4 rounds. Which I think that's kind of ridiculous to say considering Jake Paul isn't a crazy good boxer or something. It's not like Nate Diaz is going in and fighting Canelo or something like that. Obviously, Nate Diaz isn't the most technical boxer. He wasn't known for his boxing when he was in the UFC, which is a big aspect going into this fight because Nate Diaz is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. All of his finishes are, or I guess not all, but most of his finishes are by submission. I mean, he had that nasty triangle that he did about 20 times. But we gotta think about this logically. Jake Paul has only been boxing for 4 years. Yeah, that's all he's been doing, and he's been grinding and has improved tremendously over the last 4 years, and all credit to Jake. But Nate Diaz has been fighting for 20 years. I mean, he's been fighting since he was a little kid, not boxing, but fighting. And Nate Diaz isn't like a Ben Askren where he's not a striker. He was still a striker back in the UFC. I mean, that's not what he was known for, but he could still strike pretty well. I mean, look at the Conor McGregor fight. Nate Diaz was piecing Conor McGregor up, and he ended up submitting him, but that's due to his striking. I mean, his striking was so good that first fight that Conor went for a takedown, which is nothing Conor's known for, which eventually led to Conor's loss because Nate Diaz is a black belt jiu-jitsu. Conor's jiu-jitsu isn't very good. But anyways, this fight is interesting for me because every time I think about it, I'm just like, okay, let's just look at Jake Paul's boxing and then let's look at Nate Diaz's boxing. Obviously, Jake looks like the better boxer. But then you think about it, and it's like Nate Diaz has never looked like a good boxer. He kind of punches like that, slaps you a little bit, and it just looks super unorthodox, which that's Nate Diaz for you. He's not an orthodox fighter. He's a weird style. He doesn't fight like a normal traditional boxer, throwing combinations that are tight and crisp. He's more of a wild, just trying to hit you 1,000 times, get you tired. But that being said, then you just like have to think like, okay, I know Nate Diaz has a weird style, but is that just him having a weird style, or is he not a good boxer? So it's all kind of weird. I guess we'll find out this weekend. But I think Nate Diaz has a clear path to victory that he needs to take, and Jake Paul also has a clear path to victory that he needs to take. It's just who's gonna get to that path before the other one. And Nate Diaz's path is he needs to classic Nate Diaz. Just keep punching him, pity patty, hitting him. Maybe lose the first couple rounds, or at least just make him try to knock you out, because Nate Diaz has a great chin, so you just make Jake try to knock him out, work on that defense, keep hitting him, get Jake tired, and then by that 6th, 7th, and 8th round, or are they going 10? I'm not sure if they're going 10 or 8, but by those later rounds, then that's when Nate Diaz starts to turn on. Then that's when those little pity-patty punches start to hurt. So that's one way I feel like Nate could win. I feel like just tire Jake out and then get a late knockout, or maybe even a decision win if it is an 8-rounder, first 4 rounds are up in the air, close rounds, maybe the first 1 or 2 are obvious to Jake, and then those last rounds Nate just dominates. But on the other hand, Jake Paul's path to victory would be a early knockout. I mean, Jake's a better boxer if you look at him. I mean, you can't doubt it at all. Jake is the better boxer, technically and skill-wise. But does he have the IQ? Does he have the conditioning? Does he have the stamina? And that's all up in the air right now. Like, I'm just kind of rambling on right now, because I don't know who's going to win this fight. It's a close fight for me, because I feel like it's either Jake's going to dominate or Nate's going to dominate. Jake is going to go in there, just knock him out. I mean, it's hard to knock out Nate. Nate has an iron chin, so I wouldn't say knock him out. I feel like Jake could get a TKO, just knock him down a couple times, and ref calls it off. But it's hard because Jake might have good stamina. I mean, he said today that he's in the best shape of his life. He said, I mean, if you look at him, he looks like he's in very good shape for this fight, because I think he knows that Nate has good stamina and he's trying to match it. And Nate's getting up there in age, and I'm rambling right now, and I'm just kind of talking because my mind is all over this fight because I don't know who's gonna win. But if I was to give an official prediction, even though I didn't really say this, but I honestly think Jake is gonna win like the first 4 rounds. Nate's gonna start coming on. He's gonna start to fight back, win a couple rounds, but I think Jake's gonna win the first 4 and maybe like sneak around in like the 5th or 6th and just win like 5 rounds to Nate Diaz's 3, and I think Jake's gonna get the decision win. And yeah, that's my official prediction. Obviously, I'm gonna be going for Nate Diaz. I'm a huge MMA fan. I'm not that big of a boxing fan, but I think Jake's gonna get the decision, or he's gonna get the TKO victory, not a knockout. I don't think he's gonna knock Nate out cold, but I feel like he could get a TKO, and same for Nate. I feel like he could also get a TKO in the later rounds. So yeah, this video kind of seemed like I was rambling on, because it was, but I'm just kind of giving my opinion on who I think is going to win this fight. So yeah, I'll see you once the fight's over probably, or I might make a video or 2 before then, but let's see if I got my prediction right.